So good morning, friends. So we'll start APARP 575, inspection of storage tanks. Section 8, method of inspection and inspecting schedule. Inspection scheduling. Some of the first items to inspect when conducting an internal inspection of a storage tank should be which of the following: the overhead parts and all supports. API 575, paragraph 8.1.3. So it is 8.1. Where should the recommended inspection of overhead parts and supports be conducted from? The entry point or other observation points before entering the tank. The inspector should thoroughly review the inspection and maintenance records prior to conducting internal or external inspection. When any work is being done on the outside of the close to the tank, especially on the roof, during the inspection, personnel working inside the tank should be kept informed. So when should the majority of external inspection activity be conducted? While the tank is in service. There is no need to check before at the time of internal inspection. Outside completed before is okay. Even can be, if rectification can be done up to some extent or prefabrication, it can be done, completed. So during the external in-service inspection, ladder and stair threads should be checked. What conditions should you be looking for? Corrosion or broken parts? Inspection of pipe connection to tank should include bolting of flange piping to enter the ground. Should be inspected at soil to air interface by excavating 6 to 12 inches to permit visual and in ultrasonic thickness examination. If during the inspection you find distortion around the nozzle connection, what additional action would you? All seams and the cell in the areas should be examined. Examined by UT is okay. By VT and then UT. Grounding connections should be visually checked for corrosion at the point where they enter the earth. What is the appropriate total resistance from the tank to earth? Should not exceed 25 ohms. Paragraph 8.2.6. Where would you expect the final point blisters? On the roof, on the side of the tank receiving the most sunlight. Why it is recommended that the inspector not work on insulated roof? The roof plates may not be strong enough to support the equipment. Even the inspector's weight, equipments and inspector's weight. Don't know. The inspector finds corrosion during the cell inspection and requires ultrasonic thickness measurement to be taken. How many measurements normally be taken? At least one thickness measurement on each cell ring. In obtaining the cell thickness measurement, special attention should be given to upper inches of uncoated cell of floating roof tanks. 24 inches. Upper 24 inches of uncoated cell of floating roof tanks. 8.2.9.2.3. Where would you expect to find a caustic stress corrosion cracking, caustic embrittlement during the inspection of a storage tank used to store amine around connection for internal heating coils or units. What should be done if an indication of leakage through crack is discovered on an in-service tank? The tank should be removed from the service as soon as possible and complete inspection with subsequent repairs made. Welded tanks have significant distortion may cause the weld seam to be overstressed. In addition to the bottom to cell joint, what other welds are susceptible to cracking? Vertical cell seams. When a tank is welded construction and has significant distortion, weld seams may crack. When cracking is suspected, what is preferred method of non-destructive examination? Magnetic particle. When conducting a tank roof inspection on a floating roof, the addition to the recommendation that inspector work on weld seams, what other precautions should be taken? The roof should be in the high gaze position if the volatile liquid is in the tank, not empty. External corrosion on roof surface will usually be most severe at depressions where water can remain until it evaporates. True. Which of the following is correct procedure for pressure testing roof drain lines and joints? First test around 30 psi for approximately half hour and reduce pressure to 5 psi and hold for another half hour. In conducting preliminary internal visual inspection, what is the recommended sequence for inspection? The roof, internal part, cell, bottom in that order. Roof, internal support, cell, bottom. The inspector should be aware of the possibility of accumulation of dry pyrophoric deposits that could ignite during the inspection. What should be done with the deposits if they cannot be removed prior to inspection? These deposits should be kept moist. Where should you expect find significant internal corrosion in a tank's or refinery fluid service? A vapor space above the stored liquid. Caustic stress corrosion cracking. Caustic embrittlement is prevalent when the temperature rises above 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And the statistical method is used to assess the probable condition of tank bottom. What is the typical amount of floor that should be randomly scanned? 0.2 to 10%. For tanks with bottom angle between cell and the bottom should be checked for cracks. What method of examination should be used? Liquid penetrant magnetic particle. Bottom angle between the cell and the bottom should be checked for cracks in the cell adjacent to any welded butt joints in the angle. So nowadays ACFM eddy current is there. So I don't know, you can use I think. These are the cheapest things you can use. Easily available. To test of leaks through cell plates, sometimes a penetrating oil can be sprayed or brushed on the one side and other side observed for leakage. What period of time might be required to conduct this type of test? 24 hours. API 575 discusses several methods of inspecting the bottom of tanks that are resting on pads or on the soil. The method required to temporarily clay dam the place around the outside tank bottom. Which of the following is not one of the methods discussed? Not one. So cover the inside surface with soap solution and inject air not more than 3 inches of water pressure under the tank. Pump about 6 inches of water into the tank and then place air at more than 9 inches water pressure under the tank. Pump water under the tank to depth about 6 inches above the level of the highest point, the tank bottom, and holding the water with clay dam. Inject a solution of light diesel oil under the tank. Not that method. Okay, A and C can be used. Not even the D. Atmospheric tanks that are designed for not more than 0.5 psi over the static pressure of liquid contained in the tank are normally tested by filling the tank with water. What should be deciding factors for in determining the need of tank repair or renewal? Structural integrity and leak avoidance. So this reference is 8.6. Or 10, you just go for this. Because here 9.2.2. Here sometimes you can say tank. Look the chapter 10 for this. But that is the structural integrity and leak avoidance 10.1. Okay, we'll stop here.